Sha Tin comes up on Sunday, the start of the summer series. So Twilight Racing has arrived, 4 o'clock start. Paul Lally will be here and there, and we'll also have the selections right throughout this race-by-race preview. The first to Class 5 over the 1200 has My Flying Angel, King Oberon and Tai Hang Scenery all on the class drop. Just above Tai Hang Scenery, Spicy So Smart has the visor off. Kaying Power has blinkers going back on. Ruby Sailing has the blinkers off. Urban Triumph edition of Cheek Pieces and Tongue Tie and Flying Phantom placed last time over the same trip over at Happy Valley. Ruby Sailing the leader, Paul.
Yeah, look, I thought he'd go to the front and lead. There's no real clear leader and has got the 10-pound claim. My Flying Angel, I think Zach will be positive with him. Coming down in grade, Spicy So Smart can go forward. Modest Gentleman, Falcon Court, midfield there will get his opportunity. King Oberon back and Urban Triumph might have to go back from Mistral.
Been pretty consistent, My Oberon, without winning, and they've all been up in Class 4. Here he is making ground to run 4th last time. This is the race won by Lucky Symphony. He's placed 4 from 13 course and distance and trialled quite well between runs too.
Yeah, he's one of the major chances, I think, in the race. He's run second off a 45 rating, which looks good enough to win this. I think down here in grade, he's off this rating now of 39, so comes into Class 5, I think, for the first time. So look, I think this is an easy race for him.
That is our first replay. Second up, we've got Modest Gentleman running second and the likely leader in the race, Ruby Sailing, who is 9th here. Missed the start. That's the reason he's back in the field. Modest Gentleman's best is over the 1,000 at Happy Valley.
Yep, so that's why he doesn't go in. And Ruby Sailing, look, I didn't put him in either. Just worried a little bit that he could be a bit iffy from the start. You can see he was held up down the straight there as well. Look, he's capable, and if he does go forward with that 10-pound claim, that'll give him this opportunity.
Our next replay features a Flying Phantom running 3rd. He's getting down in the ratings now to a 27 for a John Size runner. Yet to win, run a few placings, but he's hard to have on a win line.
Yeah, very disappointing, isn't he? And look, he's been placed twice from 9 starts here at Sha Tin, and he's placed a couple of times at Happy Valley. So, look, he's probably consistent at both tracks, but look, he seems one pace to me, so look, he didn't go.
We started with a class dropper, going to look at the track work of the other one, My Flying Angel. Zach Purton on board for Frankie Law.
Look, he's run 3rd of 48 in Class 4. He's run a couple of really good races in Class 4. Always thought he was capable of winning in Class 4. Looks good, and Zach jumps aboard. So he's the one I'm going to go with.
Class drop the way to go here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my Quinella as the 2 class droppers, 1 to beat 2 here with My Flying Angel and King Oberon. Kaying Power, blinkers back on. This is his 2nd start in Class 5, and he's another one that's run 3rd off a 47 rating in the past. And Urban Triumph has actually won at a higher rating. He'll need some luck because he's drawn a bit awkwardly, but I think he'll be running on strong at the end. 1, 2, 5 and 9.
No need to go past the top of the book to start the day. Paul with race 1, number 1. Now, this is the preview for race number 2, Sha Tin on Sunday, and we have Warrior's Dream on the class drop with the pacifiers off and the earplugs going on. Wide draw for 1 to start. Luna Dash and Miracle Fighter make their debuts. Team Folks has the shadow roll removed. Everyone's Gallop has a tongue tie going on. PG Bay has blinkers first time, and Something Jonah 3 months between races. He's had 2 trials in the interim. It's Wonder Star leading ball.
Yeah, he's got good pace, Wonder Star. I think he'll lead. Team Folks went forward in a recent trial. I think he'll be a lot closer in the run than he was on debut. Luna Dash is showing pace in his trials, as has Miracle Fighter, the first starters. Bright Day, back to Perfect Day, plenty of days there. Everyone's Gallop, Thunder Blink gets back, Warrior's Dream, and PG Bay may have to go back from his draw.
A Wonder Star went his best race since arriving from Macau last time. We know him normally, Paul, as a leader. He took a trial with a lot of pace in this race and it nearly paid dividends.
It did, didn't he? The winner came from the back. I think the winner's quite smart in this race as well. He was on debut. So, look, a good run from him. He looks a leader in the race because he does normally like to lead, but as you say, he took a sit here. So if one of the first starters wanted to go on with it, because they have shown a bit of pace, then I'm sure he'll be happy enough to take the trail. Look, he was right on the cusp for me. I didn't get him in the end from 8.
He's not going. What are the first starters, though? And we begin with Luna Dash, who's run third at his most recent trial behind star performer. 3 trials in total. Zach Purton on board for Mark Newnham.
Yeah, look, eye-catching there, isn't it? And the horse has trialled pretty well. He wasn't asked to do too much in this particular trial. He came down the outside and he wasn't pushed towards the line. He was asked to do something about now, as you can see, just was flicked with the reins, and then that was it. Zach sort of set up a little bit on him after that. So look, he hasn't really been let go, so we don't know what abilities there.
Next trial is a Miracle Fighter running second. He's had 6 trials in total. Angus Chung and Ricky Yu combined. Runs second here behind Aero Volanic. He won the trial prior to this.
Yes, and a nice trial from him as well. So he's definitely got ability. He's going to have the visor on for his debut run as well. Now he's drawn 5. Luna Dash has drawn 4. So look, he was pushed out a little bit here, but he did respond when he was really asked to. So like he's won a trial before this. We don't know what the leader's going to do in races because he hasn't been to the races yet. But a nice enough trial from him.
Next up, you're with Team Folks at his debut. He finished down the track. He's been back to the trial since then. He's outside the leader, and the further they go, the better he looks.
Look, he sort of got shuffled back in that race as well. He wasn't really supported at 23-1. I quite liked him though in the back of winning an 800-metre trial. He did go forward and win a trial before he got here from the front, led all the way. So he has got a little bit of pace. From barrier 6, I think he'll put himself on the pace. This looks a lot easier than his debut run. And I really like this trial. I thought he went to the line under a good hold. So I quite like him in this race. It's not overly strong, I wouldn't have thought.
That's a pretty good push off the back of that trial. He must be on top.
Yeah, he is. Going to go with Team Folks. Could be a good bet in the card, this one as well. Luna Dash in there for second. Miracle Fighter, he goes in there for third. He's the other debutant. And PG Bay on a minor line. 8, 5, 6 and 10 for me.
Sha Tin combining with Michael Cheng for Paul to win race number 2 with Team Folks. The third race is the second of the Class 5s on Sunday, and this race is over the 1,400 metres with only you on the class drop. Cash is cash when his best race last time. Young Horizon, hood off, cheek pieces go on again. It is Pochettino with a gear change to the hood off. Pacifiers re-added. Mr. Good Vibes has the blinkers back on and a tongue tie for the first time. Visor is off. Sky Profit finds a race over 1,400 metres, and both Oriental Tycoon and Lapras drop back in distance here, Paul.
Yeah, look, Cash is Cash went forward last time. Island Golden has got the £10 claim, so he's likely to go forward. Lapras had the trail last start. Mini Thanks Forever likes to go forward. Fireball is back in trip but has got pace, and Eversmart might do it tough from his draw. Sky Profit and Lucky Gold might have to go back.
You were keen on a class dropper in the first race, so you was keen on this one. Only you comes from last up in Class 4 here and runs third, and he hasn't been too far away recently in the higher grade.
I'm more keen on this one actually than the other one. Like he's going to be short. He looks really well placed here. He's won a 57. He drops into Class 5 for the first time. This is Seamus Storm, who's going places. Max Q's going to be one of the favourites in a lot tougher race later on. And Only Town looks smart as well. You can see him coming down the outside. Look, he looks good on paper in this race.
We could stop it there, but we better try and find some minor numbers for you. Cash is Cash. This was his first appearance in Class 5 last time, and he appreciated the class drop, running second behind Junwan Glory.
Yeah, it's only a second start in Class 5, as you said. Lyle Hewitt's on the board. I think he'll be positive on him. He'll go to the front. So if there is trouble in between, he can kick from the turn, I think. I think he's the biggest danger. I was going for a couple of downgraders in the first, and I don't mind a couple of downgraders in this other Class 5 as well.
Right, and they're well clear of the rest of them there. He draws barrier number 7. He had gate 4 in the replay that is just coming to its conclusion. Young Horizon drops into this grade 2. Many thanks for He drops off pretty ordinarily down the straight here after leading for home. Young Horizon, he's won 3 times, 1,400 metres, and all of them Class 5.
They have. One of them was on a rain-affected track as well, so he doesn't mind a bit of sting in the ground. Not that he's going to get it on Sunday, but look, he's been out of form recently, but he's been in a higher grade. Look, the trial was just okay for me. He wasn't let go, was he? But he sort of just stuck there, I thought. The circuit horses have both come out and placed recently as well. They ran second and third in that trial.
But it's number 1 again.
1 to beat 2 again, same as the first Class 5. We'll go the same forecast. Only You to beat, Cash is Cash. We'll put Pochettino in for third. Has run third of a 44 rating in the past. And the Sky Prophet's definitely got ability as well. And he's run second of 35 and he's down to this 34 rating. 1, 2, 7 and 10.
The Class Droppers and Zach Purton to dominate both of the Class 5 races for Paul on Sunday. Race number 4 now, and here we go for the preview for this one with Matsu Victor. Race wide last time, he's caught barrier 13 this week. Great Inheritance, 2-time course and distance winner. Etalanore's drawn a barrier down in gate number 4. Ace goes from the 14 to the 1600 metres. We've got Everyone's Classic, who's won a trial since his last start. Ace War blinkers go back on. Tongue Tie for the first time. Pinghai Comet won over the 2200 at Happy Valley last start. He goes up £5 for it. Joint leaders here, Paul, with not much pace on.
No, look, I think they can share it. Ace War has got the claim. Peril of Pangs is really lightweight, so I think they can go forward. Pinghai Comet led last start when winning, but that was over 2200. He's back to 16. Etalanore should get himself into a nice position. He's been going back in his last couple. Matsu Victor could be wide once again. Ace Brave Witness back to Carry On Smiling. Everyone's Classic towards them.
Carry On Smiling's in our first replay. He runs 4th. This was his best effort since winning at huge odds around 3 starts ago. Etalanore, Paul, he's drawn a barrier. Gate number 4, he's been plagued by bad gates. Is this it?
I've got 1 to beat him, but he just doesn't know how to win this horse. He's had chances in the past. He's had 11 goes. He's been single figures in just about every one of his starts. He's been beaten favourite last 3 times. Look, if you're going to back him again, you deserve your money, that's for sure. I didn't mind Times Table in this. The horse running 5th there, he's getting there, and 1600 looks good for him.
He was held up momentarily then too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. It was a good run.
It's Times Table, and we go to California Sun, who's only had the 1 start. That was over 1400 metres, jumps up to the mile here. And things don't really go to plan for him in the run home either.
No, he had to go back inside and then he went outside. This is his debut run. He'd done nothing on the training track before this. He was over 100 to 1, but he didn't run like 100 to 1 chance. He definitely outrun his odds. And still here, he's going to run a nice 8th or 9th. He comes through the gap there, as you can see. He ends up getting 4th. I thought it was a terrific run with everything went before him. And look how he stretches out at the end. I think he could beat it, the favourite.
Extra 200 metres looks a bonus for him off the back of that for sure. And what about Pinghai Comet? He hasn't done a whole lot. Doesn't look like he's got much pace. Goes the same speed all day, and they ran this at a hot tempo over 2200.
Yeah, I think you've just answered your own question there, haven't you? Back to 1600 metres doesn't look ideal for him. So, yeah, he won't be going it.
He's been able to get through on the inside, but it's trialled plenty of times over 1600 metres up at Chung Fa. Did beat the informed stablemate there, perfect pairing, but does also come back 600 metres in distance. California Sun for you.
Yeah, I think he can beat the favourite. The favourite will be short, Etalanore. But, I mean, California Sun was over 100 to 1 because he'd done nothing on the training track. I just think he might be one of these horses that saves it for race day. So 5 to beat 4 times stable. We saw that run. I'm going to put Peril of Pangs in because if he gets an early lead in front with a lightweight, he has shown ability in the past without winning. 5, 4, 3, 14.
California Sun at start 2 to win the first leg of Sunday's Triple Trio. Race number 5 now, and the 5th is a Class 4. We run it down the straight 1000. Dancing Classics won on debut, goes up £8 for the win. Moon Rocket won at his second start, goes up £8 for the win. Cheval Valiant will lead. Lahore has the cheek pieces off, the blinkers going on. First starters numbers 6, 7 and 8. Sal has the blinkers on. Straight to Glory has the pacifiers off, the tongue tie added. Majestic Delight is minus the crossover noseband. And Blue Baron coming back in distance, and you don't deserve to get paid for this speed, Matt Paul.
Yeah, Cheval Valiant loves the lead, doesn't he? Dancing Classics led last start, but I don't think he's going to have the pace. Well, he hasn't got the pace of Cheval Valiant. Lahore's doing well. He'll get himself into a good position from 13. Moon Rocket, last start winner, can go forward. Straight to Glory, last time he was down the straight 1,000. It was a good run from him as well. Bingo Bay, back to one of the first starters, the all-rounder. And Sal, even though she's got blinkers on, I don't think she can do it from, I think, with the early pace anyway, she'll be back.
Interview time. Nick with the trainer of the first start winner Dancing Classics. It's Casper Founds.
Casper, race 5, Dancing Classics is your runner here. He's having only his second run. I've got written very professional on my notes next to his debut. Do you concur?
Yes, I do. Nice horse. You know, it took us a long time to get him to the races, as it's well documented. So obviously we hope he can come out and give us a big effort second up. It's going to be tough. He's only a small horse, but carrying a big weight. At least we're luckily drawn on the right part of the track, and he'll get his chance again. But that last 100 with the 135 is just going to, you know, might take its toll a little bit, but I still think he'll acquit himself really well. Yeah,
no, certainly the draw is a benefit for him. I wanted to ask you, actually, sort of lead me on nice to my next question regarding to his sort of size and stature. Not super big, not the most robust horse potentially. Do you have to do much with him?
Look, leading into his first round where we had to give him great grounding and stuff, and it was nice that we finally got him there, and I'm happy to say he's pulled up well, so you know that's why we're going to the races. And I think he's a horse that's definitely class 3, no problem. So, you know, we should have a bit of fun with him.
And just looking at the race on paper, Casper, I mean, there are plenty of newcomers in there. One or two perhaps have got a little bit to find. The likes of Moon Rocket and Lahore certainly look like they're up to the task. But, I mean, yours would be the one to beat still, wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely the one to beat. But like I said, the 135 is a bit of an anchor. I think Lahore's a good horse. He's getting there now. So they're going to test us, but hopefully we're all just going to rise up again. So that's just there to have a bit of fun and hopefully have a big performance.
That's Dancing Classics. Paul, Casper mentioning Lahore. He's in this replay. He runs third, straight to glory fourth, and Moon Rocket was a very heavily backed someone's long shot this day into about 4.5.
It was me, actually. I'm going to stick with him, though. Moon Rocket, he won fair and square here. I know the other two I'm going to put in as well, because I think this is the main form race in the race. I think this can be the test, this one, of these three. Moon Rocket really picked up late. And look, you could be looking for 1,200 metres now by Manhattan Rain. Lahore obviously has been going well. Both starts have been very good, and he's drawn barrier 13. And straight to glory's had another run since this. Coming back to the 1,000 probably suits him. So all three legitimate chances.
Some good lead-up races for this one. We've got one more to look at. It's Majestic Delight running 5th over the 1,000 metres at Happy Valley last time, and he's a horse that had the 3 starts prior all over 1,200. It's his first look at the straight 1,000 this week.
He was right on the cusp, because I thought it was a really good run here from him. He came from well back. He ended up running 5th. So look, we'll see how he goes in this. I didn't really want to leave him out, but he was the one that did miss out in the end.
It was hard to flick one, though.
It was, wasn't it? It was a good race, this. I'm going to go with Moon Rocket, though, on top. I think he can go back-to-back, this horse. And as you say, he was a long shot, a big price last time. Lahore goes in there for second, straight glory third, all coming out of the same race. And Dancing Classics, just second up, was a little query for him. 3, 5, 10 and 1.
Paul keen on Moon Rocket to make it back-to-back wins by taking the 5th. Here it is, race number 6 now, and there's a few chances in this race. Not a bad field over the 1,400 metres. Enjoy Golf's placed his last 6. Star Satter has the hood coming off. Wide draw again for Spirit of Peace. Sweetbriar's placed 3 from 5 course and distance. Max Q's placed 4 of his last 5. Kaying Radiance, he's having his first start since January. Excuses last 2 for quick contribution. Colourful Winners run second in a recent trial, and Cosmo Navigator's running off a rating of 40. Bit all over the shop here, Paul.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, Colourful Winner can get across and lead. Cosmo Navigator is the alternative leader, because he can lead over 14 if he wants. Riding Together likes to go forward. Top Peaks will get his chance. It looks tough for Enjoy Golf, though. From barrier number 11, he's going to be trapped wide, I think. Max Q, likely favourite. Star Satter's the downgrader. Go General Drala. And Spirit of Peace from that wide draw is going to have to go back again, I think.
We start, though, with Riding Together running second. He leads for home here, Riding Together. Ends up getting run down by Flash Current. He's been back to the trials there and he kept on pretty well to lead all of the way in that trial.
Yeah, the trial wasn't too bad. He's going to put himself on the pace there, isn't he, from barrier number 7. Look, he hasn't won yet here in Hong Kong from his 7 starts. This is the best run we've seen when he was run down from Flash Current. So, look, you know, it's not an overly strong race. He looks plenty of chances in the race and he could be one of them. I didn't get him in the end, but he's getting there.
Andrea Rizzoni rides him for David Eustace, and Flash Current does look pretty smart. It's beaten him on his merits there, riding together. What about Max Q? Is he becoming costly, or is he just being beaten by some pretty good horses? His most latest defeat was behind Seamus Storm, dazzling fit 2 runs ago with a smile, and also beaten by Carry On Smiling, who was big odds.
Yeah, look, some of those horses you mentioned are very progressive. So I think it's a combination of both. He'll be short once again, will Max Q, and he probably deserves to be. This is quite a strong field. I like him. I do like Spirit of Peace coming out of the same race as well. I think both these two are really good chances coming into this race.
There's a good form race potentially, and it's only you on the outside who runs in the Class 5 also. Our next replay is going to be a head-on shot of Star Satter, who runs 6th. He's only had the 3 starts. Barrier number 2, first time at 1,400 metres. What did you like about this?
Well, the race as well. Storm Rider wins from Storming Dragon. Both these two horses have come out and won again, raced really well in the weekend. He had to come off heels there. See that? Where he was sort of stopped in his tracks. And then I like the way he picked up at the end there. That was over 1,200 Happy Valley. The big roomier 1,400 at Sha Tin, downgraded, low draw. I've made him the value play.
Okay. You've sold it well, if nothing else.
There you go.
Kaying Radiance, here he is trialling. He's had plenty of trials since we last saw him, 6 in total, but barrier number 14 for his return.
Yeah, happy to watch him. Haven't seen him for a while out on the track. He's only had the 2 starts to date. He does have Zach Purton aboard, but just from that wide draw, off the track for a long time. We're happy to watch him. But as you say, he's had the 6 trials, so he should be pretty fit coming into the race.
His last 2 trial wins, this one is over Young Achiever, and the one before that he beat Voyage Boss at Happy Valley, and Voyage Boss did win on debut. But you've built the case, you've built the selection all around Star Satter.
Yeah, look, I have. I make him the value play, up in trip, down in grade. I think there's a couple of key changes there for him. Max Q and Spirit of Peace coming out of that same race. Then Quick Contribution hasn't had much rub of the green in his last couple of starts. 2-7-3-10.
Paul going a big day for the class droppers. That's 3 out of the first 6 to the ones with the arrow pointing down next to their name. Class 2 race number 7, and the field looks like this. The 1,400 metre race with Healthy Happy at the top of the book, a 3-time course and distance winner, as is Young Champion. Invincible Shield steps up in trip from the 12 to the 1,400 metres. Dancing Code, £7 claim. Light Years Charms won 2 from his last 4. And Mickley down the bottom draws barrier number 1. There's a bit of speed in this race, Paul.
Yeah, John McDonough should lead with a £10 claim, easy enough. Healthy Happy likes to go forward. Dancing Code's led in his last couple as well. Invincible Shield can get a nice run there. Choo Chow Spirit likewise. Young Champion generally goes back. Mickley's drawn 1, but he's probably the slowest one of the lot in the early stages. And Light Years Charm's normally slow away as well.
And on Light Years Charm, here's Zach Purton with Nick.
Zach, some nice rides coming up for you on Sunday. Light Years Charm is one of them in the 7th race. He's also just continues to go from strength to strength, hasn't he?
Yeah, he sort of hasn't really done much wrong, has he? He's been fairly consistent all the way through, and you know, he doesn't help himself at the start. He can be a bit slow out at times. Hopefully he can get better as time goes on, and he's going to need to here because it looks like there's a little bit of speed, and he doesn't want to be on the back foot from the get-go and chasing the whole race. So hopefully we can get out cleanly.
I'm not sure if that was the case last time, Zach. I mean, just watching it visually, it looked like you didn't want to give him a hard race. Not that he needed it, but it was a cosy win.
I didn't have much choice from where I was, to be honest. You know, I just had to sit and wait for a run to present, and when it did, he got through there nicely and did a good job. So we were happy with that.
He's had a recent trial and he didn't ride him. I'm not sure if you've gone back and seen it, but he looked to trial well.
He did. He seemed to get out the gates a little bit better, which you know is really what we're after. We know he's got the ability. He's just trying to manage him to get him to do everything right.
Yeah, I know he's obviously up in grade now as well, which does get tougher, but the form of his last race has worked out okay. New Forest was 6th behind him. He's come out and won, so on paper it's strong anyhow.
Yeah, it is. You know, these are much better horses than what he raced against last time, so he's going to need to go to another level, but he gets a weight relief and he's going to get the speed there to suit him, so he'll get his chance.
We move on from Zach now to our first replay here, Paul, and it was a pretty slowly run race, this one, with Dancing Code having a really lovely lead. He gets a £7 claim this week, so down to about 114 pounds on his back. I've also got in this replay Young Champion and Mickley.
Yeah, look, 1400 metres I don't think is the best distance for Dancing Code. Hasn't won off it from 13 starts, has been placed. Young Champion I thought was a little bit one-paced here, coming down into the race, and Mickley's been very disappointing lately, so yeah, I wasn't too keen on any one of these three.
Well, let Packing Hermod claim his victory there. And we'll go on now to Drombeg Banner up at Chung Fa, who leads all of the way in this trial. Brittany Wong on board this morning, as Brittany will be on Sunday. Beats Armour War Eagle by 3/4 of a length. Does love the 1400 metres. How long have you got him in front for?
Yeah, look, I've got him. Yeah, I think he'll be in front for a long period, and he can be a hard horse to get past. The question is that how much pressure will he get? He's got Healthy Happy in the race. Dancing Code as a possibility as well. But in saying that, he is a hard horse. He does like this 1400. Last one of 89. He's slightly higher at 94, but he's got that £10 claim, which will help him a lot. So I'm going to put him in on a mine line.
He goes in, but who's in front of him?
Going to go with the 7 here, race 7, number 7, which is Light Years Charm. You wouldn't want to take a short price about him, but I think he can win. Now, Choo Choo Spirit I don't mind in this race. He's one off 86. He's similar here in 89. And he did beat Invincible Shield home fair and square last start. They're 2nd and 3rd for me. And then Drombeg Banner from the front. 7, 5, 4, 3.
It's all the 7s for race 7, and just for good measure, he's also drawn barrier number 7. And race number 8, this one is a Class 3. It's over 1,400 metres. Brilliant Express has a wide draw again. Top Gun raced wide last time. Better Gate for Superb Kid. View of the World goes from the 12 to the 1,400. Dragon Joy comes back in trip. Flying Knight makes his Hong Kong debut. Glorious Success is placed 2 from 2 over the 1,400 metres. All-round winners up in distance. And Super Unicorn having his 2nd start for new trainer in Mark Newnham. Brilliant Express will have the pace to get outside the lead, do you think, Paul?
I think he has. Look, Nuclear Zor has gone forward, but there's no standout leader in this race. Dragon Joy's gone forward in the past, and from a low draw, he can be positive. 80 Light Years, Super Unicorn, the Absolute can be a little bit closer. I mean, Top Gun, when he did win his only race in Hong Kong, he led all the way, but I've been riding him really conservative recently. Rising from Ashes was an eye-catching run from him last time from the back.
And here is that eye-catching run for Rising from Ashes. There he is, third. He's placed 2 from 4 course and distance. So despite the illusion that he's a Happy Valley horse, he hasn't done a bad job around Sha Tin, and also the fact that there isn't much of him.
No, I'm going to put him in. Go in on a minor line with this horse. He's all heart. You know, you can see him finishing off. Top Gun in the yellow sleeves. He was sort of one pace in this race. I don't know where he's quite at the moment. But Light Years Charm was going to be favourite for the race previous, and he was making ground close to the line there, so he'll go in.
That's a good report for Rising from Ashes. Second replay is over at Happy Valley. Dragon Joy 7th, Super Unicorn 4th. He does make some minor ground. Where's Dragon Joy at? Because the 4-year-old series didn't quite get in there in the end, but he was in grand form leading up to it.
Look, they put him up £10 so he could get up into the series. I think that was sort of his undoing a little bit there, because when he did win that race, he deserved it. But as such, he's just struggled since he's gone up in that weight. His last one was off 60. He's coming down a bit now. He's on a 67 rating.
And finally, we've got top and bottom in the book here. Brilliant Express runs 6th. He's up 3 wide, turning for home. The Absolute gets in with another light weight here. And Lyle Hewitts and Jimmy Ting from barrier number 4. And he's in those black and pink colours and makes some steady late ground here.
Good ride here, because he just stuck to the rail and ended up getting up for 3rd. Clear excuses from Brilliant Express. Last 2 runs have been tough for him. He's drawn wide once again. I just think they'll be positive with him and try and get it on the pace. I think they can as well. And he only faded late, so I like him. I do like the Absolute. Always had good time for this horse, and with the lightweight, he's capable.
What's your makeup of the first 4?
We'll go with Brendan Express on top. I'm going on the proviso he gets across outside the leader. I think he can. Dragon Joy will give him another chance there on the inside. The Absolute and Rising from Ashes, 1, 6, 14 and 9.
That's the preview for race number 8, the first leg of the late treble. And this is race number 9 preview time now. We run this over the 1,000 metres. We Are Heroes, a 4-time course and distance winner. The Forzers won 3 from his last 4. Dream Winners won 4 down the straight. Sunny the Best, 2 trials since his last start. The Revolutions had 5 and wears a tongue tie. Metro Power cheek pieces go on. Magic Hello raced wide around the bend but did place down the lane 2 runs ago. And Fun Elite comes up in grade after running second behind Dancing Classics last time. Parents Love powers to the front, Paul.
Yeah, I think he will. He'll lead. Fun Elite likes to go forward. Metro Power on his debut was right there. La Forza should get his opportunity right again, right away there and hit that position. Magic Hello's got pace. We Are Hero likes to go back. All the other 9 runners are sort of back runners. Star Performer did lead in a recent trial, but over the straight 1,000, I think he'll be back.
Time to get the opinion of Zach Purton on La Forza and if he can carry on his winning way.
Zach, race 9, you ride La Forza. He's a horse who really has progressed nicely out of Griffin races. He's had 2 runs this season. Both of them have been victories. I'm sure you'd be hoping for much of the same again.
Yeah, of course. Jamie's been really patient with him and he's allowed him to develop, and he's certainly done that. He seems to go from strength to strength all the time. His recent trial was good. You know, he's got the extra weight to carry, but it looks as if he's in good form and, you know, he acquitted himself well again.
Can we put the, I suppose, not necessarily improvement, but the fact he has continued to step forward down to the blinkers? He's worn them his last twice.
You know, he won without the blinkers, but it certainly did seem to help him. But I think just time has been his friend. You know, Jamie's managed him really well and given him his opportunity to develop, and, you know, didn't rush him back to the races at the start of the season and try and get up him. He just let the horse, you know, come along nicely as he needed to, and, you know, he's repaid him.
I thought what was quite telling last time is that when you sort of called upon him and you needed him, he responded well for you, didn't he? I mean, he is looking that much more mature horse now.
He is. He's a really genuine horse. He tries, and, you know, he had the sort of the leg issues where he was just a bit sore all the time last season. So, you know, now he's got over that and he seems to be striding out a bit more comfortably. He's handling things well.
That is Zach. Paul, this is our first replay. It is a horse that was heavily back last time, Majestic Express over the 1,200. Magic Hello, no luck here. Have you got him in on his run 2 start to go Magic Hello, or are you banking that's still a one-off at this stage?
One-off.
Yep.
Yeah, look, it was well over 100 to 1. He definitely outran his odds, but look, yeah, I want to see him do it again. At this moment, he's just a one-hit wonder. Majestic Express, 7 goes at the distance with 1 minor placing, or 1 second, I should say. So he won't go in either.
We'll wait till he steps back up to 1,200 or further for Majestic Express. 1 start, we're used to Metro Warrior figuring down the straight, but Metro Power's come in to replace him. Placed behind Stellar Express, cheek pieces going, he draws out wide nicely in 12.
Yeah, really good run from him. So, look, he looks a really able replacement, as you say, for Metro Warrior. And look, he goes in. I think he's a good chance. We Are Hero. Look, his last one was off 85. He's down to the 79 rating, so he's more than capable as well. So both these two will go in the numbers.
And Dream Winner on the far side couldn't back up the run from the race prior. Same part of the track, but he didn't run on and figure that day. We'll have one more to see. It's a horse coming up in grade without winning at his last start, Fun Elite, but he has raced well previously over the 1,000 metres. Up in grade, can you make a case for him?
Yeah, look, they've got the option to run down in grade as well because he's 60 rated, so he's right on that cusp. They've decided to come here with the light weight. He's drawn the outside barrier 14, so there's a couple of positives for him in there as well. They've obviously gone for the light weight rather than having to carry the top weight down a grade. So, look, he'll go in, but very minor line for me.
That's Dancing Classics, who runs in the other race that he could have run in earlier in the day, beating Fun Elite there. So plenty of the replays and lead-ups. Can LaForza win again?
Yeah, I think he can. I think it's a really nice horse. He's matured a lot, and he's fashioned into a really good racehorse. He's on top to beat Metro Power, We Are Hero, and Fun Elite. I think we covered them all really well. 2, 8, 1 and 14.
Another win for LaForza for Zach Purton and Jamie Richards. For Paul in race number 9. And we wind up the twilight at Sha Tin with race number 10, 8:45 start time for the last. We've got Module Construction looking for 3 in a row. Eris Nova has the visor off, the blinkers going back on. Romantic Sun wears cheek pieces again. Little Paradise 2 for 2 in class 4. Aaron an extra £3 on his placing last time. And Solid Impact, a 2-time course and distance winner, going up from the 1,200 metres last time to the 1,200 metre same start point again this week. Young Superstar leads, Paul.
Yeah, look, he looks the leader. He goes well when he's in front. He's drawn 12, but I think he's got the pace. I think there'll be some intent to get across here of Angus Chung aboard. Module Construction can tuck him behind him. Aaron's gone forward his last 2 starts with a win and a close-up second. One more. Little Paradise has led and gone back, so we'll hedge our bets, put him midfield there. Romantic Sun, he's going to do it tough, I think, from the wide.
We'll focus on Little Paradise a little more now with his rider, Nick with Luke Ferraris.
Luke, Little Paradise is your ride coming up in the last race on Sunday. Hard to find any fault with this fellow so far. 2 runs, two nice wins. Yeah, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. He is still young and learning the ropes, but he seems to be talented. So he's pulled a nice enough draw, and if we can get a nice run in behind the speed, then hopefully he can reproduce. When you look at his 2 runs, Luke, obviously the first day he went from the front and just sort of bossed it and won, and next time out you had to change tack a little bit. How impressed were you as his rider in his ability to do that as such a young horse? Yeah, really impressed. Obviously his first win he was drawn out wide, and thought we would take luck out of the equation and just sort of dictated off the front, and he did that. He did surprise me a bit last time. When he's not asked to begin that fast, he can be a bit lazy in behind them, but when I popped the question, he responded smartly, so it was a good win. And it's nice to see that they can do it both ways and be versatile. So now he's pulled a nice barrier. Hopefully he can begin well and put himself in a nice spot. Yeah, it was a nice trait to have, I suppose, and obviously looked impressive doing it. I mean, he is just a 3-year-old. Jimmy's, I think, got a nice one here, hasn't he, really? I mean, on what he's done so far, probably after this maybe he gets put away, but next season he could be a really nice horse, couldn't he? Yeah, look, it'll be interesting. He's obviously going up tougher grade now, but in saying that, he's got to do it, and it'll be a nice sort of test to see where we are with him, and yeah, obviously next season he'll, just with natural improvement, hopefully be better.
That's a Little Paradise. This is Module Construction. Paul, he's just lovable, for want of another word, because he is just really honest. He's had some injury problems since he's been here, and it just doesn't stop him from competing so well nearly every week. Yeah,
and look, he's won a couple of last 2 starts as well. Just short margins, but he's managed to hang on. He's got to go up and do it with the big weight now, but he's drawn nicely in barrier 3 to do it. I've got a couple to beat him. I think there's a couple he's got to give away weight to some really promising youngsters coming through, and it can be a tricky sort of rating, 78, 79, 80, because you're at the top of class 3 with some nice horses underneath you.
One of them surely is this one, Aaron, who's only lightly raced, beaten last time, but certainly not disgraced. Trial since has been good. 1 more runs 9th, Eris Nova 4th, and Lifeline Express is usually charging home from the back. Always
had a good time for this horse from day one. I thought Aaron was a horse that could easily go through the grades, and he's starting to show that now. Class 3, he's already performed in Class 3. This was this race, and look, the horse, it was a sit and sprint, and it didn't really suit him as such. And he almost still got up and won. Call Me Glorious, managing to just hang on. So, look, he's obviously one of the main chances.
Is he on top?
Yeah, I'm going to put him on top of Little Paradise. The reason being is that he's done it in Class 3, whereas Little Paradise hasn't yet. So I think it's the Quinella, though. 10 to beat 8. Another Zonda, the key showing he's up to this grade, and he should get a perfect run on the rail, and then Module Construction, the consistent horse. 10, 8, 11 and 1.
And that is the preview for the first of the summer series at Sha Tin on Sunday. A reminder, a later start with the twilights now in force from 4 o'clock.